The central bank raises official interest rates, a knock-on effect on mortgages expected. Just an hour to go to the close of voting, and Tony Blair seems set for number 10. Gardaí vote by a landslide for one unified representative association. And a man has been arrested in Dublin for questioning about the Kilkenny killing. Good evening and welcome. The central bank has announced that official interest rates will rise by 0.5% from tomorrow. As a result, higher mortgage and retail interest rates are expected. The decision came after a second day of turbulence on the foreign exchange and money markets. Opposition politicians blamed the Minister for Finance for triggering speculation against the pound by his recent remarks indicating the currency was overvalued.
The swiftness of the central bank's decision to raise interest rates this evening took many people by surprise. Many had expected the bank would put up with the pressures in the money markets for at least a few more days before signalling that domestic interest rates would have to rise. However, the case for an increase in interest rates had been getting stronger by the day. In recent weeks, the Irish pound has been under considerable pressure in the foreign exchange markets, but was trading at around 95p sterling. 2 days ago, the central bank caved into this pressure and the Irish pound fell sharply. The experience was the same against other European currencies, and we've lost about 10 pfennigs in value against the German Deutschmark in the space of 2 days. It was this heavy selling pressure which caused wholesale interest rates to rise. However, it is widely believed that the speculation was triggered by comments from Finance Minister Ruairi Quinn, who 2 weeks ago gave international financial markets reasons to believe that he believed the Irish pound should fall in value.
You made a grave error some weeks ago in the comments that you made. But I accept that anyone can make an error with an off-the-cuff remark. But regarding currency matters, can I say to you that a shut mouth is often the very, very best policy. And that is not just learned in an Irish context, but the worldwide for ministers' finance to say anything about currencies.
What I have said and consistently said is that I wanted to see the Irish pound trade comfortably within the ERM band. And if you look at the circumstances and the situation, that policy is the justified policy and is the correct policy.
The central bank's decision to raise interest rates this evening will deliver a sharp psychological shock to what they believed was a runaway economy. The central bank is known to have been disturbed about many aspects. They were unhappy about the government's budget, about the strength of the property market, about the amount of money which people are borrowing, and about the fall in the value of the Irish pound against sterling. All of these things, they believe, will add to inflationary pressures and do justify higher interest rates. However, it is what will happen in the foreign exchange markets tomorrow and in the days to come which will dictate whether or not our interest rate situation gets any worse.
Well, if financial institutions pass on the rise in interest rates, it will amount to an increase of about £15 a month on a £50,000 mortgage. However, that's not expected to halt the rise in property prices.
The rise in property prices has been causing concern as homes for first-time buyers on average wages become harder to find. Within the last week, a special tax was proposed on new mortgages in order to calm the market. The Minister for Finance said he'd prefer to see more housing coming onto the market in order to ease the situation. So with this rise in interest rates, will more expensive mortgages have the same effect? The feeling among auctioneers and estate agents is that it won't have a large impact on the property market.
We anticipated there would be a little bit of instability in the markets in the lead up to EMU, and given that a 0.5% interest rate increase is not that dramatic. It came a little bit earlier than we thought it would, but no, it's by no means the end.
Some banks and building societies may take their time before deciding whether to pass on this increase. In any case, a rise of 0.5 percentage point is unlikely to halt the boom in property prices. For a mortgage of £50,000, it amounts to an increase of about £15 a month, so its effect on the property market will be largely psychological. A growing number of new mortgages are of the fixed interest type. Last year, about 60% of all new mortgages were fixed rather than variable interest ones.
I think a lot of them will be prepared for it. We anticipated there would be instability, and we advised people that if they were taking out a mortgage, they should fix their mortgage, and a lot of people have taken that advice, so it won't have quite as dramatic an impact on those people. They will have fixed their mortgages and will know that this is likely to happen in the lead up to EMU.
There's less than an hour left to the close